Hey guys, Mr. Sandman here. Got a battle against Steve-O something or another from Maryland. He leads with a Togekiss, I lead with my Roserade. I start off with a Sleep Powder because I know I'll outspeed it, and thank God it hits because for some reason it always misses for me first turn. He goes into a Scissor as I set up my Toxic Spikes. And since I have a Focus Sash, I'm not worried about dying, so I decide to just go for another layer of Toxic Spikes as he U-turns out. My Focus Sash activates. He goes out into a Lucario. I want to keep the Roserade as some random death fodder, so I go into Swampert to take the CC. I probably should have Earthquaked here, which that would have made later game a little bit easier for me, but instead I decide to set up Stealth Rocks because I guess I just really like my entry hazards. So I'm unable to kill the Lucario. So I go into Roserade to take the close combat, and somehow it does 1 hit point, which is really unfortunate for me. So I go into Gallade. I've predicted the switch, so I decided to bulk up, see if I can set up an early game sweep. I don't know. I guess I just wasn't really thinking. I think I can 2-8 KO with Night Slash, so I decided to just go for that as he Leech Seeds, and it does look to be a 2-hit KO, so I decided, so that's good for me. So I predicted the switch into Scissor, who resists Night Slash, and I make an awesome switch, and I go into Infernape. He has to switch back into Celebi as Death Fodder, and now I can KO with Fire Blast, if it actually hits. But he doesn't have anything that can really take a Fire Blast at this point, so I decide to just kill it, and that's that. The Celebi goes down. That's pretty cool. He goes into an ape of his own, and I don't want to be taking close combat, and I don't want to be losing a speed tie, so I go into Swampert as Death Fodder, which works out for me. Swampert dies, but it's cool. I decide to switch into Gallade to resist the close combat, because Gallade's not going to be taking a lot from special hits. He goes for a close combat, but it doesn't do anything, which is cool. And I get off a Drain Punch, which really helps because it KOs the Infernape and then heals back a ton of my hit points. So that was awesome, and I was really happy about that. Gallade's doing awesome. And he sends out Scissor, and I predicted the superpower, or the quick attack, I guess, because I suspected that he thought I would go back into Ape. So the quick attack was kind of surprising, but my prediction made sense. So I decided to switch out into Relicanth, who resists quick attack, and it does nothing. He switches into a Togekiss, which is annoying because I should have gone for a Head Smash, but I decided to go for an Earthquake, predicting the Lucario switch. And so I go back into the Gallade, who can do some damage with Ice Punch, which is pretty cool. And I'm hoping he might be able to 2-hit KO the Togekiss. He gets an early Wake Up, which is, not bad. He gets a Thunder Wave off. But this was pretty gay. I hit him with Ice Punch, and I get the really unfortunate Freeze Axe. I'm really sorry about that, Steve-O. That was pretty gay. I'm sorry. So he's frozen, so he can't do anything, and I get Parahaxed, but it doesn't even matter at this point because the freeze kind of ruins the Togekiss. And so I'm able to KO it with another Ice Punch right to the face. And the Togekiss goes down. So now Gallade is doing pretty well. He doesn't have a bulk up, so I doubt he's going to live anything. He goes into Scissor, and I don't want to predict the switch, or I don't want to switch into Ape and have him predict that because I really want to save Ape for late game. So I decide to stay in randomly, and U-turn kills Gallade, which is a little annoying because then he sends out something that's very weak to Gallade. But it's all good. I decided to go into Relicanth because I don't know. I probably could have gone to Ape and just killed with close combat, but I don't know. I just like Relicanth a little more, I guess, because Relicanth is awesome. Unfortunately, he can't get the job done for me this time. That's a bad fishy. And Earthquake does a bunch, but since Snorlax doesn't realize how awesome Relicanth is, he's unable to KO, and that means that I destroy him with another Head Smash, which thankfully doesn't miss. He goes back into Scissor, and I don't really want to switch to anything, so I decide to let Relicanth die, which makes me very, very sad. And he just kills it with a Bullet Punch. So I go into Ape, who resists Bullet Punch, and that's awesome, and I'm able to get off of Fire Blast and kill that annoying Scissor. Alright, and then now all he has left is his Lucario, which is Scarfed, I believe. And he goes for an extreme speed. I'm still not entirely sure why. I think he said that it used to be an SD Luke, and so he just forgot to take it off or something. But if he had used close combat, I would have been able to revenge kill with my last guy, which was a Spec Shaman anyways, so Fire Blast is able to kill him. Alright, so good game, Steve-O. See you later, guys.